Hey, De'Vondre, you got me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So you've been around the league a little bit. You've played for a handful of defensive coordinators. What's Joe Barry like?
I like Joe a lot. His energy is great. I think he's a really good teacher. He's very detailed and describing things. And I feel like for me coming into a new defense, that's really important to hone in on the details.
Mark Daniels.
Hey, De'Vondre, yeah, you've been, on a couple of teams now. I was just wondering, how long does it take you to get a feel for how guys play next to you and how you can see yourself meshing with how you play together?
My situation is a little bit different right now because I signed so late in the off season, so I didn't have the full off season with these guys. So right now is where I'm kind of trying to make my adjustments and figure out who the guys are around me, what their strengths and weaknesses are, them figuring me out as well. So, I mean, this first week has definitely been a great one, great learning experience, just getting out there with my teammates, making mistakes and being able to correct them and kind of get on the same page together.
Tom Silverstein.
De'Vondre, have you been able to tell whether there are things in this defense that are going to fit your game, or is that a process of that even goes into the regular season?
Yeah, I think it's a really good defense. I think everything fits and is more about just really coming in and doing what I'm asked to do. Whatever it is that they want me to do, I feel like I'm able to do it. So, yeah, that's it.
Mike Spofford.
Hey, De'Vondre, I know you said you're still learning and getting caught up and whatnot. I'm curious, how do you feel you and Krys Barnes can kind of be a tandem? Like, what do you see as far as your game and his game that maybe works as a pair out there with that first unit?
I mean, we both have our own strengths and weaknesses. So the best thing that we can do is just hone in on them and continue to make sure we're on the same page. I talk to Krys a lot. I try to give him as much advice as I can. He's still a young player, so there's a lot of stuff that he probably hasn't seen. So I just try to pass along my knowledge to him and, him pass along his knowledge to me. I just feel like you're never too old to learn from somebody. So there's things I can learn from him. There's things he can learn from me. And we just try to mesh and make each other better and make this defense better as a whole.
Jason Wilde.
De'Vondre, speaking of Krys, I don't know a ton about your NFL career. I remember you at Minnesota. How much during the NFL did you wear the headset and make the calls in the defenses you were in? And how challenging of a job is that for a young guy like Krys, who seems to be doing it okay based on the reports we get?
I've had to do it once before when I was in Atlanta. It's definitely a challenging job, especially for a young player. But the biggest thing that I try to tell him is to make sure you always have command of the huddle. Everybody's always looking at you. So no matter what happens, good, bad, or indifferent, just make sure you always in control. And, like I say, you're the quarterback of the defense. So everybody's always looking for you. You got to be in control at all times.
Tom Silverstein.
De'Vondre, have you been used a lot to cover like tight ends running down the field, backs coming out of the backfield quite a bit during your career?
Yeah, more tight ends than backs. I can guard backs too, but I feel like I'm more specialized in guarding tight ends. But, like I said, whatever needs to be done, we can get it done.
Can I just follow and ask, what does it take to be able to cover the tight ends in this league?
I mean, we have a lot of really good tight ends in this league, So personally, I feel like it's just a skill set thing, like the league is changing as a whole. You have a lot of these tight ends that are like basically extra wide receivers on the field. So just being able to kind of match up with them, I feel like I bring the size and the speed that allows me to be able to match up rather than putting a safety on them, because sometimes even if you have a really good coverage safety, most tight ends can overpower them due to size and a strength difference. So I feel like that's something that is a very big part of my game.